Always committed to the future of the game, the Carolinas Golf Association supports junior golf, player development, scholarship programs for turf grass majors, and research. With more than 700 member clubs and 150,000 individuals, the CGA is the second largest golf association in the nation. It's only natural that the Carolinas Golf Hall of Fame would fall under the CGA umbrella. By honoring those who have contributed to the game in the Carolinas, the Hall of Fame serves as an inspiration to those who will become those important building blocks in the future. From professional golfers, champion amateur players, architects, superintendents, coaches, and the media, the Hall of Fame honors those who have honored the game of golf in the Carolinas. Tonight, we recognize two more giants in golf. Our 2016 inductees in the Carolinas Golf Hall of Fame, Dean Cassell and Johnny Harris.
You know, I can say honestly, after traveling this great country and meeting so many people that are prominent in the game of golf, special caretakers, going to all these great courses, that there is no state-by-state regional golf association better in this country than the Carolinas Golf Association. I truly mean that. So in order to be inducted into, in my opinion, the premier golf association in this country, you have to mark off some pretty impressive boxes. You have to do something maybe no one ever has done before when it comes to the golf ball. Or you have to be, without question, the most influential person in the history of the city of Charlotte when it comes to the game of golf. And we have two people in the room tonight that do check off those boxes. And tonight is their night, and certainly you're going to hear their story. But I'd like to go ahead and introduce them right now, Mr. Dean Cassell and Mr. Johnny Harris.
On this municipal course in New Jersey, a life was changed because it was within walking distance of a young boy from a blue-collar family. Galloping Hill Golf Course took on 11-year-old Dean Cassell as a caddy, making 50 cents a day. Caddies got to play on Monday, and the first time he hit it well, a lifelong love of the game was born. His dad urged him to forget about golf and concentrate on baseball, because on the pitcher's mound he really shined. At this one-hit performance, a Boston Red Sox scout was in the crowd, which led to the biggest change in Dean's life: a college scholarship to a strange new world called Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It meant a college degree for a young man who never could have afforded it otherwise. And there were other benefits. A blind date with a young co-ed named Ruth introduced him to his future wife and the love of his life. After college, baseball continued to call, and with a signing bonus from the Philadelphia Phillies organization, he financed an MBA from Harvard, a merger of sports and business that would continue throughout his life. A paper he wrote in graduate school on the Acushnet Titleist Company landed him a job there, and he worked his way up the ranks, including vice president of marketing and eventually president of the company, and expanded the brand's influence to Europe and Japan. It was during this period that Cassell helped define the game as we know it today. A raging battle between the smaller European ball and the larger American ball was coming to a head. The game needed one standard if it was to expand. And as president of the Golf Ball Manufacturers Association, Cassell fought for the larger ball and helped quash the USGA's compromise for a third ball in between the two standards.
And it made a difference, I think, in the European and Asian and the rest of the world in how their game has progressed. And if you look at the Ryder Cup history, you see that the Europeans are now much stronger than they were in the days when they were playing the smaller ball.
He left Titleist to become president and CEO of Dunlop Sports, and it wasn't exactly the warmest reception.
I looked in there and I saw Dean Cassell, and I said, what the hell is he doing here? And if you're a Dunlop guy at the time, Dean was president of Acushnet, Titleist, and he was the enemy.
But Dean won them over. He moved the company's headquarters to Greenville, South Carolina, and developed a new crop of sports marketing professionals.
My relationship with Dean is kind of almost like a father-son in a sense, and most people say that in business you kind of have three mentors in life, and I definitely consider Dean to be mentor number one in my book.
He's just made a tremendous contribution, and there are not many people that I can imagine have made as much of a contribution to the game of golf as he has, and we're fortunate to have him here in the Carolinas.
Dean deserves this honor and this recognition for the simple fact that he's put so much of himself into the game of golf. He's put so much into the game of the golf in the Carolinas. He's brought the game to new levels. He's brought new people into the game, and he's got a legacy that's going to be hard to follow.
Dean Cassell, Carolina's Golf Hall of Fame.
So I am privileged to introduce one of the game's true gentlemen, that sturdy oak of a fellow, upon whom the Carolinas Golf Association has bestowed tonight's honor, and in so doing has honored itself for having made such a worthy and deserving choice. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Cassell.
This journey from Galloping Hills, you saw there, that grubby New Jersey Muni, where golf was more of a contact sport than a golf, to this grandiose, wonderful Quail Hollow. It's been a long and wonderful golf journey. First of all, I'd like to thank the directors and officers of the Carolina Golf Association for this honor, and I just so delightful that you acted so promptly. Because this 88-year-old is a little wobbly at this point. This is an evening I wanted to share with all of you, but I have one word possibly about golf and the training that I received. Very early, when I joined Titleist, and Wally and Dave know this training I received because they received the same, and they were imbued with the same spirit and love of the game that I had. But I was first in, and here I was there 3 weeks at Titleist, and I wondered why I wasn't president. And that's what they taught you at Harvard. Anyway, the leader, Bill Palmer, called me in his office, and he'd been here a couple of weeks, and he said, Cassell, the first thing we got to do with you is get all of that, he said, he didn't say it, but I'll say it, freaking Harvard out of you. And you've got to learn the essence of golf, what golf is all about, its soul. What is golf all about? They weren't concerned in training me about the profit and loss or getting the sales results for the next quarter or the next month. He wanted me to learn what golf was all about. So he sent me on a tour, and I spent the next 2 years beginning to understand the dedication and depth and love that people have for the game. And the lesson that I received at that point was never do anything that will do nothing but create a better golf in a more healthy and better way. In other words, no short-term things. If golf is healthy, if golf is growing, and if you understand the soul of golf, we're not going to be worried about the monthly profits, that will take care of itself. And I feel this sense of dedication and love is that I was trained on, and Wally and Dave were, is the same thing that the Carolina Golf Association is doing. You are doing your job for the health and growth of the game, and for that I'm deeply appreciative. And lastly, I wanted to say that this is a grand and glorious evening. Anyone would be humbled by it, and I am. But I have to say that it will come down as only the second most meaningful night to me in my life. And here I'm 88 years old, and so I am measuring and loving every moment of it. But the best, my outstanding time is still yet to come. And in 2 months, I will be celebrating with my wife, Ruth, that little girl from Henderson that I stole from them many years ago, our 65 years of marriage. Whatever I might have accomplished in my life, she was there by my side each step of the way. Those minor league ball fields when I was getting shelled out in the third inning. On to Harvard, where all those snooty people couldn't understand her southern accent. To the multiple parking lots behind golf courses that I dumped her in, and she slept while I either played or tried to do business. She was there every step of the way. So like the great book, the Old Testament book of Ruth, she's true to her name of Ruth there. And Ruth, come up here. Okay? Do you folks remember the words of Ruth at the end? I entreat thee, whither I go too. Whither you are, I will be there too. And that's what, so we'll go in together to the Hall of Fame, Ruth and I.
Well, Dean and Ruth, congratulations on becoming first ballot Hall of Famers in the Carolinas Golf Association. All right, partner. Time to look at the screen for tonight's second inductee.
For some, golf is just a game. For others, it's a way of life. For Johnny Harris, it's a birthright. It was his father, Jimmy, who spearheaded the development of Quail Hollow Country Club on 257 acres of family-owned land. And with the help of Arnold Palmer, brought professional golf to the course with the Kemper Open in 1969. It was through that association that Johnny Harris met Palmer, and a lifelong relationship as mentor and friend began. Harris honed his golf game, started his own business, became president of Quail Hollow, and eventually would follow in his father's footsteps by bringing professional golf back to the Charlotte area. The Wachovia and then Wells Fargo tournaments brought in some of the biggest names in golf. But perhaps his biggest coup is yet to come, the 2017 PGA Championship. and the 2021 President's Cup.
Johnny has grabbed it with both hands and is pulling it forward and leading the charge to bring those events here. So I think things like that, and just I use this term, being a friend of golf. I mean, if it's involved with charitable dollars through a golf tournament, Johnny's right there. I think you can't, he checks off all the boxes. You can't say enough about what he does as far as leading the charge when it comes to raising money through golf.
Frankly, there's a lot of people who don't know his involvement with First Tee, which touches so many people's lives, and he has helped raise so much money for that organization. So it doesn't matter if you're a young kid or someone in the seniors. Johnny's doing things that make it great for all of us related to golf.
And on the course, well, he's played some of the most famous courses in the world and made a shot or two along the way.
We were making the turn at the 18th hole at Pebble Beach. It was a beautiful day. And Johnny had hit a good drive. And he was saying, what club should I use to lay up? How should I, 5-iron, 6-iron? And I said, Johnny, you're going to lay up here. You've got a 3-wood you knocked on the green. You've got Arnold Palmer in your gallery. You're on the 18th hole at Pebble Beach. And you're going to lay up? Give me that 3-wood, partner. And he knocked it on the green, made a birdie. So that was something that I'll never forget. The fact that Arnold was in his gallery, I think, says a lot about Johnny.
And that has been the difference for Harris on the course and in life. When given the opportunity, go for it.
Because when we talk about mountains, he sees the mountains, he goes over the mountains. And he is thinking 24 hours a day from a visionary perspective on what can we do in golf in the Carolinas to make it better. And he'll spend money, he'll chase after it, and overall, everybody in golf in the Carolinas benefits from his involvement.
Johnny Harris, Carolina's Golf Hall of Fame.
This is my favorite part. Here is his son, Jono, to induct Johnny into the Carolinas Golf Hall of Fame.
As I thought about my remarks tonight, I look back on his accomplishments in the game of golf for the Carolinas. From his early days in the Pro-Am, to the Kemper, to the Wells Fargo Championship, to the work in Pinehurst on the U.S. Open, to the Wells Fargo, to now probably one of the greatest events in golf's history in the PGA Championship in 2017. Hopefully not for the last time. And then in 2021, the President's Cup. All these events are incredible accomplishments and certainly make me proud to call him my dad. But what makes me even more proud and yet humble is the experiences, the learning moments, and the friendships that many of us have enjoyed because of Dad. The game of golf has shaped my life since I was a very young boy. He taught me what it meant to be a gentleman. He instilled in me the true love of the game. As a result, my life has forever changed.
I'm here tonight because of good fortune, special friends, and two men. My father, Jimmy Harris, and Arnold Palmer. The game has a way of bringing together people from diverse backgrounds. One, the son of a golf professional during the Depression in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And the other grew up working in his father's hardware store just after the turn of the century in Athens, Georgia. Two more different people you couldn't imagine. They shared not only a great love for the game, but a respect for it, as well as for those who played it. A love of the game and a respect for the game and the people who played it. Remember that, because that's what it's all about. Wherever you go tonight, and wherever you go every other day about the game, and go somewhere to watch the game, all over the world, or at Revolution Park, or out at First Tee, it's the love of the game, but it's more importantly the respect of the game by the people who play it and the people who watch it. That's so much important, everything we do. My time looking back must come to an end, as there's much for all of us in this room and across the Carolinas to do for the game we love. The Carolinas Golf Association, as many of you know, was founded in 1909 at the Country Club of Charleston. What better place to found this organization? From then it has grown into 720 member clubs, as well as 150,000 men and women who are members. It promotes the game through competitions, junior programs, and handicap systems. The Carolinas Golf Foundation has contributed over $2 million to Carolinas-backed initiatives. It needs our help now and in the future. So please join me in active support of this organization tonight, tomorrow, and in the weeks to come. Remember, the game needs to be protected, to nurtured, and be loved, because it is, in fact, a special thing. This may be the most controversial thing I'm going to say tonight, but I feel certain that somewhere in heaven, in fact, I hope in heaven, George McElveen just turned to P.J. Boatwright and said, "Can you believe this?" Those two gentlemen represent in the past just a couple of my friends that helped make my journey so special and have left us. They helped me understand and appreciate what this game was all about: love and respect. So as I close, I wish again to thank the Carolinas Golf Association for this honor. And as tradition suggests, for those of you that might be so interested, that would be men and women, there will be libations served in the men's locker room. So come be our guest if you would like to do that here. And then I want to say to you that I accept this award as a challenge to continue my efforts in support of the game we all love and respect. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you again, Dean, for the impact you have made on the Carolinas, and also to Johnny as well. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for being part of the 2016